All right, welcome back to the channel, folks. And today I'm finally doing the review. I had this gun a while, but I'm finally getting around to the review of the TISAS Raider, which is a Colt M45A1 clone for a lot less money. And I'm willing to bet with TISAS's reputation, which is very good, that it's probably a better built gun than the Colt. But let's just take a look at some of the features you get with this pistol at a very affordable price. You get your standard 3-dot Novak style. These aren't real Novak sights, Novak style sights. You get a rail underlug, front and rear cocking serrations that are angled, kind of in the same angle as the grip angle there. You get undercut trigger guards. You do not get a checkered front strap because I don't believe the Colt had that. You get your standard mainspring housing with the vertical serrations, and it does have a lanyard loop. That's very cool. You get your G10 grips. You get your grip screws that match the Cerakote on the pistol. You get ambi thumb safety. You get a relieved slide stop hole on the side. Says Raider on the slide. Says US right there on the underlug, the rail. You get a standard, no holes, standard length trigger. You get the Commander hammer, which, as you can see, is showing a little bit of wear in there. It's just barely bumping into the beaver tail grip safety, which is the spring tension on this feels fantastic. So you get it in the flat dark earth Cerakote finish to look like the M45A1 that the Marine Corps was running, I think 2014, 15, somewhere around there. They selected the pistol, not the entire Marine Corps, just like SOCOM or Marine Raiders, or at that time were called, I don't even remember, Force Recon or something like that. TISAS. If you guys are not familiar with TISAS, you don't know, you better ask somebody, because TISAS is killing it in the game. This gun was $700. I think $700 is what I paid for this gun, which is fantastic for the money. Now, Colts anywhere from, there's several different Colt M45A1 iterations, generations, or whatever, and they can go anywhere from like $10,000 to $12,000 all the way down to $3,000. And I don't believe they're as good a pistol as this. You get the extended ambi thumb safety on here. It's a good looking pistol, and it shoots just as good, and it's very reliable. And I think we're going to see that in the range, little range portion that we do here. So let me do some of my standard tests that I do on 1911s to look at fit and finish, and then we'll talk about some of the things, some of the small things, problems I have with this gun, which is not very many. So we're going to press down the barrel hood to see if there's any movement. There was none. There was no movement. That checks the fit of the barrel link and the barrel to ensure accuracy. Thumb safety. Does it go down past where it's supposed to? No, it is fit perfectly. Now, this is very positive here. Now, it was good when I bought it, but I'm the type of guy, one of the first things I do to almost all my 1911s is I throw a Wilson Combat plunger spring in here because they are fantastic. And this gives this very positive, you can hear it, on-off engagement. It's fantastic. Beaverdale, so that is one of the things. But we're going to check the functionality of the safeties on this gun. I do this with all the 1911s, make sure, all my 1911s, make sure. Does the thumb safety work? Yes, it does. Does the grip safety work? Yes, it does. Let's check for engagement. Right there. So about 50%, that's fit perfectly. The reason I check that is if you have a wonky grip, let's say you're in a gunfight, you're tussling around, you're on the ground, you can only shoot one hand, and you don't get a perfect grip. Like, let's say you get something like this, and it's not fit properly. Like, let's say you had to go all the way in, like a lot of Colts and some Springfields that I have. You got to go all the way in before it will fire. It might not fire, and that could be bad for you. So that's good, but let's check it. Does the grip safety work? Yep, it stops it from firing. Now let's push up on the hammer as hard as you can to check sear and hammer engagement. Usually that's not a problem, except for on custom guns. They got like 1.5, 2 pound triggers. When they start to wear out and you'll see hammer follow, you might have an issue there. Flared magwell, slightly flared magwell on there. Guys, this gun. I love this gun. This gun is fantastic. There's not much I have to say that I hate about it. I mean, it comes with 2 Mech-Gar magazines, which are great mags. I haven't had any problems with it. I mean, the grips came a little bit loose after shooting, but that happens on almost all my 1911s, except the very high-end ones. You just throw a little rubber O-ring in there or a very tiny drop of purple Loctite, which is like their least. And if you're going to use blue, just take a tiny, tiny bit and then dab it with a Q-tip so that you just want to make it a little bit sticky, not cemented in there. One of the only problems I have with this gun, it's very small, and I'll show it to you. It has to do with right here. Now, I have some high-end guns I'll show you that have the same problem. You can see the hole in the frame right there. That should not be there. That should cover it up. So either the frame hole is a little bit too cut a little bit too low right there, or maybe the thumb safety was, is not covered, but it should look more like this. It should cover it up. You should not be able to see that at all. I don't know, maybe the little slide stop cut up there lets it go too high, but it should be just like that where you don't see any hole at all, but you do see a little bit of a gap. And don't worry, I got some very high-end pistols that you can see that on, and that's no bueno. But let me show you basically what this gun is, okay, with a few minor tweaks that they just kind of Cerakoted. So this is the TISAS, all right, SS45R Duty. Now, these are both called the Duty. Matter of fact, the box that this comes on says Duty with a couple of different letters after it to designate that it is the Raider. But as you can see, I mean, come on, they're essentially the same gun. Okay, now this has aftermarket lock grips on it. By the way, lock grips are fantastic. I'm not sponsored by them. I don't get any money from them. I don't get free grips or nothing. I just think they're fantastic. They look great. And this comes with 2 sets though, a black plastic and a black rubberized set. So, but as you can see, man, these are essentially the same gun. This one's got a different trigger with holes in it. This one's all black, and this one's Cerakoted. But they are, I mean, they're essentially the same. This one is stainless steel, to my knowledge. I don't know if this one is also. We're going to see. But, I mean, look, they even got the flared and recessed slide stop release on that side. I mean, they're just so... If this is not your jam and you want something different, if it's not your vibe, go ahead and get you one of these. But I like both, so I got both. And the funny thing is I got both of these pistols. This was like $479. I think this was a little over $7 after transfer fees and everything. I got both these pistols for like less than some of my Colts that have some serious QC issues. I did a review on this one, a full review. You can go check that one out. It's pretty cool. But yeah, they're essentially the same gun. They little different lanyard loop, no holes in the trigger. Of course, it says Raider there and US, so a few little different markings, different grips, of course, and the Cerakote. But other than that, it's just, they're the same. So, well, you know what? Let's get a weight on both of these and kind of see what we're working with here. See if they're the same weight or if one's heavier. Or let me put this mag back in. Let me move this out of the way. Let's see what we're working with here. 41.54 ounces. Nice. Let's set this. And let's see, 41.54. This one feels heavier, but It's actually lighter, 40.68. Look at that. I wonder if that's like an ounce of finish or something. Huh. Could have sworn this one was heavier. It feels heavier, but it's not. So let's check the trigger pull weight. Let me put this one aside over here and get this one back over here and check the trigger pull weight. See if this cheap ass trigger pull gauge is going to work. And here we go. 488. Reset it. 518. 508. So I'm calling it right around 5, and it's very, you get your take up, your wall, and then no creep on it. None. Guys, the triggers on these TISAS, I'm telling you. You don't believe me? Then go test it for yourself. The triggers on these TISAS guns, oh my God, that one's even better. I don't even know. I don't remember what that one is. Let's check it. You know what? Just out of curiosity, let's check it. They're better. You don't believe me? They're better than the Colts I have. 100% guarantee better than my Colts. No lie. Oh, I left the safety on. Hold on. Let's see what we're working with here. 4.5. 406. 386. So, man, I mean, these guns for the price are fantastic. And if you want some of that Colt M45A1 nostalgia, look, styling, and you want a better pistol and you want it cheaper, go pick you up one of these, man. They're fantastic. They are fantastic. Everybody that buys a TISAS is like, wow, I should have bought these years ago, because I'm telling you, they're really stepping up their game. So let's get this out to the range and do a little shooting with it. All right, folks, range portion. TISAS Raider out here, 230 grain reloads. These are blue bullets. We got steel at 30 yards, and we're just going to see how she shoots, man. This is the shooting portion, so we're just going to shoot. Okay, folks, accuracy portion of this review. We have 3 rounds, 230 grain reloads. These are blue bullets. We got the Raider. We're going to go back to 7 yards and see what we can do on that 2-inch shoot and see, which is affixed to a USPSA target. Now, it is cold out here, so don't be surprised if this thing blows off after the first round. And I am out here testing multiple guns. I don't know if you know how a lot of YouTubers do it, but whenever we get a little bit of good weather, we'll come out and we'll test or review or whatever we're doing. We'll film, I should say, multiple guns because we got to get it in when we can. So I'm going to go back to 7 yards. We're going to see how she shoots, and then we'll do a follow-up. What'd I tell you? Third shot, though. Third shot. It's shooting, that's pretty... Oh, I don't know where the darn thing went. Wait. Okay. Not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, so let's flip this camera around and get the final thoughts. All right, gents, final thoughts on the TISAS Raider. This gun is fantastic. I'm not going to lie. And for $700, guys, don't just watch videos. If you have a chance, okay, go out and get your hands on one of these. I don't know if you have an indoor range near you that has rental guns and they can rent you one of these TISAS, not necessarily this one, but just a TISAS in general, maybe. They're fantastic. Fit, finish, the quality control, the parts they use, the reliability, the triggers. The triggers on these blow Colts away. I mean, they are knocking it out of the park. I think this one is a pretty faithful reproduction of the Colt. Only thing I can really gig it on is finish wear. That's natural. The little tiny, again, hole that I pointed out in the tabletop right there, that's not perfectly fit. But other than that, everything is so positive. It's accurate. It's reliable. It's $700. You can even get them down in the mid sixes. I've seen it, but this is a popular gun, so they're going to keep charging a little bit higher. But compared to its competition, come on, guys. Don't believe me. Believe if you own a TISAS and you had a good experience, and maybe if you had a bad experience, put a comment down below. Let me know if you own a TISAS and what you think of it. I think they're fantastic, which is why I bought a bunch of them. I think they're putting out great guns. I think people are sleeping on them. I think especially 1911 snobs are sleeping on these guys, and they make great guns. You can't hate on these, man, for what they're charging. They're fantastic. This model specific, I think, is very cool because, as stated in the tabletop, ever since Colt came out with the M45A1, I wanted one. I'm not going to pay the price. Back then, they were $2,000 when they first came out, $2-3 grand. And again, like I said, depending on which one you got, anywhere from 10 to 12 grand down to $3,000, you know. And yeah, I would much rather have this for $700. So this one is a win. If you're interested, go out and get you one, but don't pay over, you know, mid sevens. Like I said, you do a little bit of shopping around, you can probably get them for mid sixes, and at that price, it's a fantastic gun. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.